It's going to be crazy when Shigaraki wakes up. The only question is, where is he going to wake up? What's up, it's Truth Hero, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia chapter review. Boku no Hero Academia chapter 268 of the manga. We'll go through everything from these insane nomu battles and Mirko being amazing once again, to all the possibilities surrounding Shigaraki waking up. I actually don't think he's gonna wake up soon, and in fact, it's almost better for the story if right now he stays asleep. Also, because of certain events in the world, we won't be getting a chapter next week, so if you're craving more My Hero Academia, I suggest you watch this video, which I released yesterday, and I'll put a link in the description and pin a comment with it as well. Basically, we have to keep in mind that while everything's popping off with Shigaraki in the hospital right now, the heroes are also fighting on a different front, and Hawks is facing Dabi, and Tokoyami just jumped into the middle of that. I think Tokoyami could actually take out Dabi. So go watch that theory and let me know what you think. But without further ado, let's dive in. The chapter opens with the heroes still finding their way through this maze that is the basement of the hospital. And I'm just wondering, how did Mirko find the doctor so quickly when the heroes can't? Maybe she's just that amazing. We see the shield hero Crust taking on one ugly high-end nomu. And that regeneration ability? Man, that's tough. But luckily the heroes have Eraserhead who can just cancel that out. So it's like facing a normal nomu. It also makes me think, how strong is Mirko to just go against 5 high-ends without canceling out anything? Eraserhead is talking to Endeavor about nomu specifics, and Endeavor notices the one he has pinned under his fist has multiple layers of bone. Eraserhead then says, "Come on, we gotta go, hurry up." And Endeavor's like, "Alright, I'll just turn up the heat. That was easy. Level cleared." Now I know these high-end nomu weren't stable, so they're not as tough as the high-end that Endeavor fought with Hawks, but still, you gotta think that Endeavor's been leveling up. And now we have Mirko continuing to be one amazing hero as she flies towards Shigaraki's tank with that killer kick. She thinks to herself, "The moment I saw this thing," which is Shigaraki in the tank, "my body immediately understood. My rabbit survival instincts activated. This thing can't come out." Then why are you kicking it? Am I the only one that's confused here? Am I the only one that thinks maybe Mirko should just chill for a second and form a plan with the heroes? I mean, yeah, I guess if you can kick through the tank, break the glass, and hit Shigaraki to knock him out, then go for it. But if not, like we saw, you only cracked the glass. Ooh. Also, I know most of you guys think Mirko is this amazing hero. She's a queen. And I certainly agree. I mean, she deserves her spot on the hero billboard chart. But is she a great hero, or is she just plain reckless? Because it seems to me that this girl almost has a death wish. I'm gonna read something to you. It's a documentation of every injury Mirko has sustained thus far in this arc. Her head has a laceration on the scalp which goes down to the left side of her face, and her right ear is impaled, maybe even severed. Her torso, the left side, is impaled or at least has a deep cut from the nomu. Her arms, as we know, her left forearm is amputated and self-bandaged. Her legs, arguably her greatest asset as a hero, she has a left thigh laceration, a left calf laceration, and her right leg was impaled. She's also bleeding from the mouth after this torso injury, which tells me it's internal bleeding. Let me know if I'm missing anything, but I think you get the idea. Also, all this has already happened, and we haven't even gotten to the final boss yet. Shigaraki's still taking a nap. I feel like, especially seeing what Aizawa did and how he helped out Endeavor and the other heroes, Mirko could have actually waited for the heroes to back her up against these nomu. I think that would have saved her some of these injuries and maybe had her more prepared to fight whatever's coming out of that tank. Perhaps Mirko wants to clear this stage of the mission as fast as possible to eliminate any harm to the other heroes, and I certainly understand her urgency with Shigaraki. I mean, from what we saw, this is going to be a huge fight. But Aizawa could have definitely helped her out against those 5 high-end nomu. And yes, I know if Aizawa actually helped Mirko, then we wouldn't have gotten this amazing scene where she crushes a nomu's head between her thighs. Praise Horikoshi. But I feel like she could have planned this out more strategically. I guess the only good thing here moving forward is if Shigaraki does in fact burst out of that tank and wake up, no matter what happens, more of the remaining heroes will have strength to take him on, and maybe she can sit out that round, although try telling her to do that. I wonder if Mirko, instead of being self-sacrificing, is almost too selfless to the point where she doesn't even care what happens to herself. I mean, she did even say, even if you die, achieve your goal, then die. So let me know down below in the comments. Mirko, is she too reckless as a hero? But speaking of Shigaraki waking up soon, it's a real possibility. As we see Mirko kick and crack the glass on Shigaraki's tank, the chapter shows us he's now at 74%. Given this, he's not progressing to 100% that quickly, so it's safe to say that Shigaraki, if he does in fact wake up, it will be prematurely. I don't believe any of that matters though. I think when Shigaraki wakes up, no matter what stage of his progression he's in, it's going to be a problem for the heroes. And maybe we shouldn't have kicked that tank. Maybe we shouldn't have disturbed him. I don't know what you could have done in this situation. Maybe unplug the tank and then taken that to prison. I get that there's not a lot of time to think in this situation, so it's a hard call for the heroes to make. Also, I feel like Mirko should just take out Dr. Ujiko because he could still do something on his own. To give you all an idea of just how smart these high-end nomu are, we see one of the high-ends analyze the hero's quirks, specifically Aizawa's, saying, I can't use my quirks, but I didn't even touch that guy. Wait, he hides his eyes. His eyes. Oh, I see. This is pretty impressive for a nomu. I mean, they're as smart as a person, at least in terms of strategy and combat, so I hope Aizawa Sensei knows what he's doing. Don't worry, I have faith in Eraserhead. Also, this nomu gets smart and I think goes behind the tanks, then absorbs water and fires it off as a blast, which is very creative for the nomu, but very annoying for the heroes to handle. We then flash back to Mirko, and just as she's about to get caught and pretty much taken out by this tentacled nomu, Endeavor swoops in and grabs Miss Bunny Hero, taking her to safety. What have I been saying all along, ladies and gentlemen? She's too reckless as a hero. The crazy thing is, it's not even the hero that we expect could die in this arc. So, Mirko, just be smart. I don't want to lose you. But I can certainly understand Miruko's sense of urgency and concern in this matter. What the other heroes besides Aizawa and Hizashi now have come to realize is just how grave this situation is with Shigaraki. This guy is in that tank, and they cannot let him wake up. Or as Mirko put it, they must kill Shigaraki before he has a chance to wake up. If you notice, there's this panel right before the end that shows Shigaraki's tank, and there's a blank thought bubble. Now, I'm not saying Shigaraki has woken up, but he's definitely not sleeping peacefully. He's beginning to stir. So, the next chapter is going to be crazy. But let me know what you guys think of this one panel. Is Shigaraki maybe able to hear things, or see things, or at least perceive what's going on around him? Also, who knows what quirks he has? He could be sensing people without even having to look at them or hear them. Who knows? Now, I don't know how you all feel about heroics or the topic of heroism in this arc, but it seems to me that there's a lot of shoot first, ask questions later by the heroes here. I mean, Hawks went for the jugular with twice, and it seems like the heroes are about to do the same thing. They're trying to kill Shigaraki before he can wake up. My question is this justified? I understand that Shigaraki poses a threat to Hero Society and pretty much the entire world. He's the new All for One, and All Might, in failing to kill All for One, allowed a supervillain to continue to pose a threat to society, and now we have to deal with the fallout of that in Shigaraki. So yes, you could certainly make the argument that Shigaraki poses a threat to society and the world by virtue of just being alive. But man, that line between protecting society, but also holding up the values a hero should embody, keeps blurring more and more here. And I love it. Shigaraki may in fact wake up next chapter, and maybe we will get to see these new powers and quirks that we hope he has. And do let me know down below in the comments, will Shigaraki wake up in the next few chapters, and what will happen? But for today's discussion, I'm going to instead focus on what if everything went according to plan for the heroes? What if everything worked out? What if they captured Shigaraki, arrested him, took him in, and that was it? because I think this makes it a bit more interesting if Shigaraki is in fact held without waking up and reaching that 100%, or at least even, 75% of his power. It's quite possible that the other heroes besides Aizawa and Hazashi, and maybe even Endeavor, don't share the same concern Mirko does with killing Shigaraki before he can wake up. And if they capture him alive and maybe take this tank or take him out of it and take him to prison, this could be the final piece we need to get a prison break arc. Imagine if Shigaraki was placed in Tartarus alongside his master All For One. Now, I do not think All For One's going to break out of prison. There's really no point. It'd be like if All Might suddenly made a return to the story. I mean, we already have Deku. We already know what's going on with him. But Shigaraki being in prison poses a new threat. We still have Gigantomachia who could break him out. But also, if you guys remember back a few chapters, a good amount of chapters, there's a scene where All Might had to not go to Tartarus. They had to cancel a meeting because Stain wanted to talk to him. What if other villains like Dabi, who wants to embody Stain's ideology, were also transported to Tartarus, and then within these prison walls, Shigaraki, Dabi, and Stain all work together to bust out of there and take their revenge on Hero Society? The reason I believe Shigaraki will probably stay dormant for a little while longer here is that if he woke up right now, he'd be like a young version of All For One. I mean, a bit groggy of course, but still, I do not think the heroes could handle him. I like Endeavor, Miruko's certainly skilled, and I'm sure these other pro heroes are good, but I do not think they're a match for him. He could just probably decay everything around him, and then if he gets heroes caught in that, take their quirks. We don't know what power he's going to have. Also, I think the story will explore his different quirks and his abilities, and we'll see him do different things and, as Shigaraki would put it, side quests on his mission. Also, there's the fact that Deku has only awakened one of the Vestige's quirks, and we assume by the end of the series, he'll, use them all against Shigaraki's multiple abilities. So, we're not at that level for Deku yet, we're not at that level for Shigaraki yet. We still got a long way to go in this game. The other possibility is Shigaraki gets captured but calls for help and Gigantomachia comes in to save him from the heroes. As we saw either last chapter or the one before, Gigantomachia is waiting by that radio, and Dark Shadow said, "Oh, that's a monster," but the heroes informed him that Gigantomachia will only activate or do anything when he hears his boss call for him or tell him to, and that's of course Shigaraki. Now I know the Paranormal Liberation Front mansion is on the other side of town, but when Gigantomachia was summoned by Shigaraki against Redestro fighting the Liberation Army, he hauled his butt over there quickly. I mean, he arrived just in time, and he did swoop in and destroy a bunch of Liberation Army soldiers and really help Shigaraki. So I think Gigantomachia is just waiting for this. He's waiting for an opportunity to serve Shigaraki, and we could see this here. And this could be that sort of turning point in the arc where it looks like everything's going good for the heroes. Yes, sacrifices on both sides, but now it's in the villain's favor. So that's what I have for you guys today. Don't forget My Hero Academia is on break next week, but if you just can't help it and you crave more, be sure to check out my video that I released yesterday on the possibility that Tokoyami could defeat Dabi. Apparently some notifications didn't go out, so people didn't see this video. But that's fine, I'll put it here and also in a link in the description, and I'll pin a comment. So if you can't wait for more My Hero Academia, just watch that. Let me know what you guys think of this chapter though. Is Shigaraki actually stirring and waking up? And what's going to happen to Mirko if she continues to be reckless? And of course, the overarching question, if Shigaraki wakes up, what are the heroes going to do? Comment your theories down below. And if you guys like My Hero Academia content and these chapter reviews, be sure to enroll at UA today by subscribing, and hit that bell so you never miss a lesson. Until next time, heroes, or villains, plus ultra.